everybody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
All right, hunkering down. Got a couple beers. Got Star Wars conversation, and currently marked safe from COVID-19. This is the Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course, Star Wars topics to talk about wouldn't be any good without my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's craziness, man.
Oh, it is craziness right now. That's for sure.
Last week we talked about the roller coaster and all that. That like we were in like a lull.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've gone over the hill again.
Yeah, I know.
And I kid. You know, it's no joke, right?
Right, of course.
There's something serious going on. I mean, is our reaction warranted? I don't know.
Right.
All I gotta say is, you know, wash your hands. You know, be safe, be smart. You know.
Yep.
But, it is definitely causing a stir, and it's causing cancellation of events all over the place, including E3 2020. It's been canceled.
Yeah.
Due to the outbreak. This sucks. You know, I mean, E3's in June.
Yeah. It seems that one seems kind of like a little far out there to be canceling, but you know, I it's hard to say. I'm hearing conflicting reports on whether or not this thing will run its course by then, or if it'll still be lingering on. So, you know, hard to say. Can't predict the future that far out.
Yeah, and it is new. We don't know how things are gonna, you know, react once the warmer weather hits, because typically that's the you know, kind of pause for the, you know, cold and flu season, but we don't know. We don't know. It's a new strain. It's whatever. I'm not a world health expert.
Right.
So I don't claim to know how things are going to react. But yeah, E3 being canceled, that's a big deal. You know, it's you know, we talk a lot about Star Wars gaming, things like that, and E3 is typically the launch pad for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. So,
and what go ahead.
No, I was just gonna talk about the other one and how there's a little bit of irony with it. Repop postponed the Emerald City Comic-Con until summer 2020. They haven't given any dates yet, but it's you know, June's kind of summer 20 and they're canceling that one, so for E3. So I'm not sure.
Now I kind of wonder, so a Comic-Con and E3 are a little different in how they function, right?
Yeah.
E3 is the big, you know, show for the manufacturers. So you got Nintendo, you got PlayStation, you got all the PC manufacturers, Microsoft, you know. And it's mostly panels, right? I mean, I know there's a show floor and everything, and you get to test stuff out, and there's cool things to do like every other convention, but it's centered around the announcements.
Yeah.
You know, what do all the companies out there have to show for the coming year?
Yeah.
So I understand it's a little different, and I'm sure, you know, the disruptions for these companies leading up to the convention is probably a problem, and probably makes the convention harder for them to prepare for.
Oh, I'm sure.
So like day-to-day business obviously takes precedence. And if you have a situation where employees may be working from home or, you know, things like that, obviously the convention is lowest priority.
Yeah. I'm sure they're also considering at this point new innovative ways to make whatever announcements that they were planning on making there.
Yeah, I did read that they are looking to, you know, kind of have something, you know, internet wise.
Yep.
but it's not going to be the show that they would normally have.
No, of course not.
You know, it's tough.
Yeah.
But this has sparked a lot of fear. But 2 months after that is Celebration Anaheim.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
it's another really large show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of planning and stuff that goes into it. Everybody's asking the question, could Celebration Anaheim be the next one to see the X, you know?
Yeah. Well,
and I would say it is possible. I would expect to see more of a postponement than a cancellation.
Right.
I don't know. It's anyone's guess right now.
Well, I'm sure we're gonna, as time moves on, we start to get a better handle on how things are gonna play out. Things start to wane here, and fewer and fewer people are getting infected with this. I'm sure we'll start to see more and more of these things come back online, and some of the stuff that's scheduled further out, get to maintain its date and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that's the way it works out. So
yeah, I agree. It's and it sucks. These shows are going to be canceled, things like that. But there's never a bad time to stay at home. Cuddle up with your favorite blankie. Just watch Star Wars.
absolutely.
We have ways to combat this stuff, people.
Absolutely. Watching Star Wars is like top on my list, that's for sure.
Yep. I know it got me through a lot of sick days when I was in school, so
Heck yeah.
at school as an adult. I always love the question, oh, you're watching that again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Point.
Right.
Got a problem with that? Yeah. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't really care if you have a problem with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. And so spiraling off of that, E3, things like that, there is a rumor out there. It's been a little bit of a minute since we've had a rumor about upcoming projects, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a minute, for modern day Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
But I emphasize rumor. This is coming from PC Gamer. Okay. Apparently there's a PlayStation Network Twitter bot account, right? It's not an official PlayStation Network account, I don't believe. It's just a Twitter bot that reports on PlayStation 4 releases, right?
Okay.
Has leaked an image of a flight of X-Wings approaching a Star Destroyer with the title Project Maverick.
Ooh.
So instantly it jumped into this, little project that there's not much known about, a kind of different project that EA's been working on.
Okay.
And all the speculations in that, X-Wings, Star Destroyer, maybe this is like a sequel or a continuation or another version of Star Wars X-Wing.
Ooh, I like that idea.
And then there's others saying, oh, maybe it's Rogue Squadron. Like that idea.
Absolutely.
I like either one.
Yes.
Bring it. I am not going to argue one bit about a Star Wars space battle oriented game.
Yeah.
Strap me in an X-Wing. Let me fly around for a few hours.
Yeah, for sure. That takes me back. I love those old games.
Uh-huh.
Being able to fly the ships and stuff.
Yeah, I liked Rogue Squadron a lot because you got more than just the X-Wings, you know?
Yep.
You had Y-Wings, snow speeders.
Yeah.
You know. Basically, if it flew, A-Wings, if it flew, you flew it.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Well, I like that. So I'm assuming Maverick is their working title.
Yeah.
So the next one's going to be Goose. Ha.
That one don't end so well.
No, I know.
That'll be the one that gets canceled.
Exactly. I was just thinking that.
I feel like EA should just do that. You know, they should just work on 2 titles. They cancel one and put out the other.
There you go.
That way they don't just cancel everything they're working on.
Have a throwaway project. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it worked last time. They threw away one. They came out with Fallen Order.
Right.
So. And if they ever get bored, I mean, 13's pretty much done. So.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Have my doubts on whether we'll ever see it, though.
Yeah, we'll never see that game. Never.
Yeah.
But hey, it's what it is. It's what it is.
It is.
I mean, EA with all their problems still doing better than Hasbro. So. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense too. Flying game, Project Maverick. You know,
yeah, exactly.
Top Gun comes out this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow I
oh
feel
wait,
like...
Maverick.
Huh?
Top Gun Maverick, is that the name of the film, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Interesting.
So, yeah, it'll have nothing to do with X-Wings. That's how they roll with their titles, their working titles.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you call it that?
Yeah. Yeah. The working titles don't have to make sense.
Right. All right. So in good news, some good news.
Okay.
Filming for The Mandalorian season 2 has wrapped.
Yeah. That's I gotta say,
that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, see, okay, there you go. So when I first heard this, I thought, wow, that seems kind of soon, right? I was kind of blown away. I don't know. I would have thought they'd had to go for a little while longer. But no, apparently it's wrapped and heading into post-production. All I can say is, for the rest of Lucasfilm, take notes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was really expecting some like script issues.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. No,
no, I mean they're rocking and rolling over there.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, you almost have to.
Yeah. Yes. It is.
I mean,
you're
in production on a series.
Yes.
This is almost the way it has to go. Yeah. But I mean, shoot, they got 7 months. Little less than, but almost 7 months to do post.
Yeah. And I don't know. I and with the series model that we're talking about, television series model, they can like have some completed while still working on others, right? You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, you can have the first 3 or 4 done and still be
exactly
putting the finishing touches on.
So, they have that advantage, but I don't know. The way I see it is, yes, rest of Lucasfilm, take notes, because this seems to be working. Everybody's excited for season 2. Not much more to say there.
Yeah, I mean, it's welcome news. It's welcome news in a environment that has been riddled with problems.
Yeah.
And the extent of those problems may be being blown out of proportion, maybe exaggerated, but there's problems. Yeah. And this one seems to be lacking those. I mean, you didn't really you didn't really hear of problems when they were doing the first season.
Well, not at all. And that's not to say that there wasn't any problems, but they didn't like I don't know. That wasn't like aired to the fan base as their dirty laundry or whatever.
Right.
That's,
the problems we know about is like, whoa, we don't have enough stormtroopers.
Exactly. And
Dave's like, hey, I know some people.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say the solution for that was like the coolest thing ever. So I don't consider that to be a problem because the solution was so cool. I don't know.
Epic.
Yeah. So having the 501st fill in, that was awesome. But I don't know. They are either just doing it better there on the set of The Mandalorian, or when things are going wrong, they don't have to tell us about it. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Now this could be too. I mean, you're working with a set of unestablished characters.
Yeah.
So with working with a set of unestablished characters, you're not like combing it over like, oh, does this fit with this or does this fit with that? They're not having to do that.
Oh, neither did Rian Johnson. So I'm sorry.
Damn, son.
Yeah. I will say though, in regards to what you're talking about there, JJ for episode 9 probably had the hardest time of anyone since the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilm, because
well, yeah, when you say, okay, this is going to be the end of all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's some weight. That's some weight you're putting on someone's shoulders there.
Yes. So, yes, gotta kind of give JJ a pass on some of that stuff. If there's, for any hangups that people have with episode 9, you got to give a little bit of a pass because of all that. So, yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome. I do get a kick out of the what do they call them, the clapboards or whatever.
Yeah.
So the clapper board that they had below says director Dave Filoni.
Of course.
So Dave's directing at least one other episode.
Yeah. I think we knew that was going to happen, which again, awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think there is a certain level of grooming going on here for Dave. They are grooming him in live action.
Let's hope so. I mean, I'd love to see more of it.
I mean, what else would they be doing? I mean, how many animation directors move to live action? It's not a common thing,
Right.
Typically animation is animation and live action is live action. You and it's understandable. I mean, you acquire a certain skill set.
Oh yeah.
It's not too normal that you go way outside your skill set.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, I can't wait, that's for sure.
Oh, agreed. All right. Well, we were struck with a little tragedy this past week as well. So the man who uttered the very first words of the sequel trilogy, Max von Sydow, who played Lord Santeca, passed away at age 90.
That's a bummer.
That's a bummer. I mean, he's one of those, he's of the old guard.
Yeah.
Of actors.
Classic
actor. That
yep.
Old school acting style.
Yep.
I mean, my first experience with him in a movie was The Exorcist.
Ah, yeah.
Obviously I was a little older and that movie had been out for a while, but yeah. So it's a bummer.
Yeah, definitely a bummer.
We were definitely blessed to have him join the Star Wars universe. And yeah, he'll be missed. It's always a bummer to see these actors that you know for your entire life almost go, but that's life, and it's unfortunate, but we were fortunate to have him join us in Star Wars.
For sure.
All right. So IGN had an article, 17 ways the novelization adds to the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. So I don't think we should get into like we're not going to dig into the meat of all of these. I think we can run down a few of these, and then I got a question. I'm a little curious about something, so I'm going to ask you. But there's things that they're talking about, like Palpatine's message, right? The Fortnite message. Apparently goes a little deeper. Leia's Jedi training. There's an expanded scene on Mustafar with Kylo Ren. Goes in deeper about Palpatine's clone body, which we kind of touched on last week. Let's see. Rey's new lightsabers. A little bit on Rose. Lando's missing child.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Exactly. So apparently there's something to do with Lando's missing child.
Did that?
Apparently the child was taken to be in the First Order. So, and I got a feeling this was kind of like this was a thing that didn't get fleshed out with Jannah. And who knows? I mean,
wait, is Jannah his missing child?
We don't know. I don't know yet, because I have not read the novelization. I don't know if it tells us in the novelization, but from watching the film, you saw there was a little something there at the end where there was like a hint, right? So, the source of force healing. Chewie's memories of Ben.
The source of force healing?
Yeah.
It's the force.
Right. Finn's force sensitivity.
That right there. If the novelization expands on that, I find that super interesting.
Okay.
Because there was always kind of like a hint.
Yeah.
That Finn may be force sensitive.
Well, I gotta say, from The Force Awakens, we saw those images of him with the lightsaber. I think we all thought he was going to be like,
we thought he was the new damn Jedi.
There you go. Yes. Nice way of putting it bluntly. Thank you. Apparently goes into Luke's unseen presence. More to do with the, see you around kid kind of thing. I think he's a little haunting.
Maybe him interacting with Ben.
Yeah. That's what I'm guessing from that. There's an extended passage of a Zori escape from Kijimi. Because, our core crew gets off of the planet not long before the planet gets blowed up. So, and then the next time we see Zori is in the battle on Exegol with Bubba Freak sitting on her lap.
Oh yeah, when she was flying the X-Wing. I nailed that, by the way.
Nailed what?
That she was going to be the one flying the or the Y-Wing.
The Y-Wing. Yes. Yeah, I was going to say, I knew it was a Y-Wing. I was like, what X-Wing?
I love it. I love it when I go nailed it and I screwed it up when I
Yeah.
said nailed it.
That was
Like
good.
that's what I get for wanting to go. Yeah, I nailed that one.
Uh-huh.
That's like that right there, my friends, is what we call instant karma.
Yeah.
Never pat yourself on the shoulder.
Yeah. So, more into Palpatine's son, right? Which, that's kind of the clone thing, right?
Ugh.
The Force Dyad, Rebel Heroes Return. This is referring to the Ghost being in that fleet of ships, and it's still apparently left unclear in the book as to whether or not Hera is piloting the Ghost. So,
Well, I mean, if they say Rebel Heroes returned, and like, I don't know, like, are we at that stage with the Ghost where the Ghost is a character, like the Falcon's a character?
I guess, because I mean, it's making its appearances in movies, right? But
Yeah, I guess we really have reached that point, haven't we?
yeah. But okay, so here's my question for you. We didn't dig into those things, but it gives you kind of like a broad overview of some of the things we might be seeing in the novelization. How do you feel about how much a book that is based on a movie is going to expand on what we know from the movie?
Well, I think it's absolutely necessary if you're putting out a novelization, right? That
Yeah.
the novelization is going to expand on the story that you have. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, just to have the version you can read. I mean, I'm sorry. I like reading and all, but that's dumb.
I got you.
There's got to be something to the novelization that gives it purpose. Otherwise, yeah, why not just watch the movie?
Yeah.
And books always have more information than the film counterpart.
Now, I will say, in most cases, films are based on books. In this, Star Wars has always been the other way around. Yeah.
Well, I think that, like I said, I think the purpose of the novelization at this point is to expand.
Yep.
Now,
I would say at a glance, it appears as though this novelization is going to be expanding a lot further than most Star Wars novelizations.
Right. And that's where I was going to go with that is, while I feel a novelization for a movie should expand on said movie, it shouldn't be expanding on your major plot points too much.
Yeah.
It should be expanding on your background stuff.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes.
It should be expanding on, like I said, Finn's force sensitivity.
Yeah.
Lando's missing child.
Yeah.
That stuff a novelization should expand on.
Yeah.
The reason why Palpatine's able to be alive is not one of those things, in my opinion. I believe that if you're going to make the revelation as big as it is in the novelization, including Rey's parentage,
yep,
like how his son came to be, things like that. If you're going to make these kinds of bombshells, it needed to be in a movie.
Agreed.
Because the majority of people who watch this movie are not reading this novelization.
Oh, that's for sure. I will say, I think I almost feel like the whole thing about Rey's father being a clone of Palpatine, a clone of some sort, a failed clone, or whatever, it seems like that's an afterthought. I don't see why a regular biological son wouldn't have worked just as well, if not better. It almost seems like the clone thing was thrown in there just to throw a wrench in the works.
Yeah, I mean, I think the clone thing.
Sorry.
I think the clone thing was put in there to, kind of satisfy the backlash that came from Rey being attached to Palpatine. But like, to me, if I'm one of the people that are upset about Rey being attached to Palpatine, I would find this to be more insulting than just, Rey being a biological descendant of Palpatine.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not that I have a huge problem with it. I really don't. I mean, Star Wars does some weird crap. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's known for doing some weird stuff.
Yeah.
But my issue here, my sticking point is that this kind of revelation comes in a novelization.
Right. If it was going to be this way, it should have been made more clear in the movie, I think.
Right. I mean, so let's look at the critical reviews, right?
Okay.
The critical reviews of The Rise of Skywalker. And it's like, you see a lot of stuff like, Palpatine's alive. How? Why? Fan service, right? Like, this is the kind of responses you're getting. And the reason you're getting these responses is because you don't expand on how this is possible. So when you don't expand on that, you get answers like, it was just pure fan service.
Yeah.
And that's why major plot points shouldn't be in novels, that are made to expand on a movie. You understand this kind of stuff when it's a novel that gets turned into a movie, and you have to leave stuff out for time.
Exactly.
Right. But you are setting the foundation with the film.
Right.
The film is the foundation.
Yes. So
you can't build a building and then go back and put the foundation in for the building. Okay.
Right.
Like, it doesn't work that way.
Exactly. Yes. The things that should be extras in the novel, in my opinion, should just be little nuggets that you find interesting and that satisfy a little bit of curiosity that you might have been left hanging with at the movie. Not, oh my God, how did that happen? That's the kind of stuff that you really need to be let in on in the film, in my opinion.
Let's put it this way, okay? Like, Star Wars has a long history with the novelization and like weird stuff being added, right?
Okay.
And like little things that are like, they're not really super important, right? But they add them in anyway.
Yeah.
And the feeling has always been, oh, well, the novelization said this. It's like, that's bullshit. Right? It's like, who cares? It's the novelization. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, in this situation, the novelization has to matter.
Exactly.
Because it is putting in the foundation of our major plot points for the film after the fact.
Yeah.
And we say after the fact because it was written after the fact.
Exactly.
It's not like, oh, they put off the release because of this. No. It was written after the movie.
Yep.
Which means it was also shaped by the responses to the movie.
Yeah, and that bothers me a little bit, gotta say. I would hate to think that we're going to like put something out for Star Wars, see how the fans react, and say, "Oh, well, we're going to fix it with this." I don't want it to be run that way.
Right.
I always go back to it. George Lucas, when he was running Lucasfilm, and I know those days are gone, but he did things his way. He was uncompromising, unapologetic for it, and that's the way it was. And guess what? To this day, those are the best Star Wars we ever got.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Agreed. And I said this before. Artists should be unapologetic.
Exactly.
Their art is a reflection of them. I mean, that's the credit I do give to Rian Johnson.
Agreed. I just think it was the wrong platform.
Yeah, wrong place.
Yeah.
Right attitude, wrong place.
Yes.
You were coming in to continue a story, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I mean, you kind of got to care a little bit.
Yeah.
But, and that's why I am not opposed to him doing a new era of Star Wars, because a new era gives him a clean slate. Let him do his thing then.
Yeah, and it will probably be a better product for it.
Yeah, he'll probably make a great product.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just being real, he'll probably make a great product. I mean, I joked around last week with what he said there and said, "I'll fire this guy," but no, that attitude in a new and unexplored area is the attitude you need to have. That's the attitude George had.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I mean, George had that attitude while following the story he already laid out. So like, you can't do both. Like, you can't just go, "Yeah, I wrote that, but screw it."
Exactly.
I mean, he did do that a little bit sometimes, but minor things. Moraband, anybody? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't yell at me, Doug.
I'm not gonna.
I know I keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm anxious to read this book. I'm going to go into it with an open mind and see what I can glean from it. That's for sure.
well, I mean, it's definitely the right novel to go into with an open mind, because the Force Awakens. Jeez, I'm all over the map tonight.
Yeah.
Because the Rise of Skywalker was so jam-packed and was so condensed, we need expansion. I guess that does give this novelization a little bit of uniqueness in that sense, because the film never really had time to breathe.
Right. That's for sure.
So this is a unique situation. And we do need to be open to that idea. It is unique. But maybe you could have got rid of some of that clutter by putting that stuff in a novelization, the stuff that, maybe could have not had to be in the final, didn't have to be in the final cut.
Yeah.
Could be relegated to the novel, and then, fill in those gaps with the major plot points.
Yeah. It does seem like there's some stuff that probably would have made the movie more satisfying for some fans if it was in the movie. And, I said it long before the movie came out. Make it a 3-hour movie. I'm okay with it. So,
Oh, no argument here.
Right.
Hell, you even said make 2 movies.
Yes, I did.
So, yeah. We'll see. I mean, we ain't got long till we can get this in our hands.
For sure.
So, well, I think it comes out this week, right?
Yeah. 17th? Is that it? Or am I thinking?
Comes out on St. Patrick's Day?
Or am I thinking of the digital release?
17th.
Okay.
You're on it, sir.
Excellent.
So on the 17th, we can, stay in, sit down with our book.
Heck yeah.
With some corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah.
And some Guinness.
Wait out the coronavirus.
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. I'm definitely, like you said, I'm excited to get it, and I'm going into it with an open mind. I'm like everything, like we always say, don't let everyone else shape your opinion.
Exactly.
I mean, hell, we always tell you, don't let us shape your opinion.
Right.
This is our opinion, not your opinion. Have your own.
Exactly.
Send us an email. Tell us we're wrong.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah. And we'll fire back with, yeah, whatever. But we would do that because we are of the opinion your opinion is your opinion. While debate is fun and hearing other opinions is fun, it should never shape yours.
Exactly. Have something to add to the conversation? Or you just want to let us know how we're doing? Email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. That's the best place to get in on the action. But if social media is a little more to your liking, @TheWarsAndMore on Twitter is always a good place to interact with us. And we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/TheWarsAndMore. And of course, your portal to this and everything else, The Wars and More, is thewarsandmore.com.
All right, so it's that time to talk about the Clone Wars.
Nice.
So this week we got Unfinished Business. So episode 4, season 7.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't slow down.
No, they don't. I gotta say, this was obviously they were heading towards these storylines were heading towards the end of the Clone Wars, so
Right.
So I think things were definitely ramped up, but man, I don't know, none of this stuff was like, you remember like the middle of like season 3 and stuff like that. Things kind of got weighed down a little bit with like a lot of the political stuff in the Clone Wars, right? Stuff I'm still interested in, but maybe not as exciting as some of this. But man, this stuff is just like go,
Oh, this arc's going to go down as one of the best in the series.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was nonstop action, just good characters.
Yes.
You enjoyed every single character.
Absolutely.
I mean, what character in this was not interesting? Even the baddies were interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell, they made the B1s interesting.
To a point, and I gotta say, okay, Mace Windu, his little speech to the droids,
Yeah,
that was hilarious. I was like, really?
or the one with Wrecker. Not the face.
Yeah, that was funny.
Just like interesting involvement from even the B1s. Like it was just a well-written, well-played out arc.
Yeah. I will say I thought that was a little out of character for Mace, maybe, because we're talking, he's the guy who went to arrest the Chancellor and was like not offering him too much of an option, but in this one he's like, we can reprogram all of you. I don't think so. That's funny.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice because like programming is programming.
Yeah.
They don't really have, what's the free will?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like the droids could go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds better than what we're programmed to do. I mean, the person on the other side could just go, no, you're doing this.
Exactly. So, and that's, I know that's looking a little too deep into it, but
oh yeah,
it's just kind of, a little weird.
Oh no, it was a funny moment. I mean, you knew how that was going to go.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan's like,
yeah,
well, it was worth a try.
I like that comment too. That was great. But yeah, I don't know. Anakin, what'd you think there?
Oh, a little dark.
A little bit. Again, for the right reasons, right? He's looking to save the crew on the ground. And that includes Mace and Obi-Wan and all the clones down there.
And they said that the bomb would probably destroy most of the planet.
Exactly. So, again, for the right reasons, he's going dark side. And it's like, ooh, it's. I thought for a second he was just gonna waste trench, like almost like after he gave him the info, but he did get attacked. So
yeah, it was still a very, very not Jedi-like response.
True.
To just, run him through.
Yeah, well, I mean, the worst part for me was like the cutting off of the appendages first, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I need information, and then whack.
I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you lose your arms.
Exactly. That was like ooh, but we can obviously see this is another step that Anakin's taking going dark. So
yeah, I mean, and he says it over and over again. This is war. It's different.
Oh yeah.
So it
seems
his goals are right because he just wants the war to end.
Yes.
But his methods,
yeah,
a little questionable.
What I thought was funny was you almost get the impression that Trench kind of put a bug in Anakin's head a little bit, because when Anakin's threatening him, he says, "You won't do anything. You're a Jedi."
And what do you say? I don't have such.
Yeah.
I can't remember the word he used.
Right. Limitations or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
And that's when the arms go. But when faced with two lightsabers around Dooku's neck, he says ahead of time, "I shouldn't. It's not the Jedi way." So you gotta wonder if he's kind of remembering this sort of thing a little bit. I don't know.
And maybe like, I've done too much of this. I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Because, they all know what Jedi should and should not be doing, And they
did a good job of showing anger.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Anakin in this moment.
For sure.
I mean, this show continues to prove time and time again the limitations of animation are a thing of the past.
Oh, yeah.
You can show facial emotion in a character almost as well as live action anymore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's darn good. So, Echo, it's kind of interesting the way he can interact with these systems, much like a droid now. I don't know what the Techno Union did to him, but dang, that's crazy stuff.
That's some next level stuff right there. That's, I was really kind of taken aback when I first saw it. Saw him actually like plug in like an R2 unit.
Yeah.
And start, you see his eyes going.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess it falls in line with a lot of what we've seen in Star Wars, though. A lot of human mechanical hybrid stuff. So,
yeah, but still taking that, turning it up to 11, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely new.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything similar.
No.
As far as like being in their head, I think we've seen like, augmentations where you see like a screen.
Okay.
Like someone would plug into something, they got a like a little screen in front of their face.
Okay.
But nothing that was like internal.
Right. But what's cool about that is that he still retains his conscience, right? He's fighting for the right side still, kind of thing. They didn't like drive that out of him.
Yeah, he still has his humanity.
Humanity, yes, for sure.
Which is even stranger because he's a clone.
Yeah.
and we've seen that humanity grow in the clones throughout the series.
Yes.
But in the beginning of the series, they were very almost like the droids.
Yeah, and that's the other part of this whole thing too, right? Is if he has this organic style chip in his head, you would think the Techno Union would find that, especially with all the implants he's got, and flip the Order 66 switch on just him so that he wouldn't be so compassionate towards the Republic.
Yeah, but would the Techno Union be looking for something more mechanical, more
That's possible.
So that's a
possible.
biological chip, like it's a
Yeah, that's true. That's possible. That's a
so
good point.
it was explained very well as being biological. Like when they were showing it on the screens and stuff, it looked like tissue, you know.
Yes.
It wasn't like a circuit board in their head. It was something woven into the biologics of their brain.
Yeah.
So it was a chip, but it was like flesh and blood.
Exactly.
So someone like the Techno Union isn't going to pick up on that because they're, technology,
So at first I was thinking, that maybe they would, okay, maybe they would understand what that was, but then, maybe it is kind of like a little out of their wheelhouse. So
yeah, I mean, their biology is not exactly their forte.
right.
Like, oh, hey, look, there's this biological anomaly here. Like, what do we do about this? What's this do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's something that they could plug into and find out what the directive would be from it, even.
True.
Although, they did create a sort of technical or technological interface with his brain.
Yeah. But if that's not active yet or activated yet, maybe
it wouldn't know it's there.
Yeah.
Well, that means that chip's even more badass than we thought.
Right. Now,
because it's not even in the consciousness of them. It's completely separated.
Yeah, it's just flipped off until the code words, dictated to them.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is weird. And when you think about it, there might be a little dark side action going on with that thing too. It could have some Sith alchemy involved.
Yeah,
never know. That it might be some sort of something that I don't know. God, I'm just trying to think. We know it's there. We know what it does. How it was created and given, inserted into all the clones. That's a whole nother story. That's, it had to happen during the cloning process, but it,
yeah, and kept secret and
yeah, and secret from the Jedi. But if it has anything to do with the dark side, Sidious would have had to get it to the Kaminoans to have it inserted somehow, and maybe through Sifo Dyas. Whatever.
And, probably putting too much real world thinking into this, but I mean, think of the days we live in now. Like, you can't have too many people involved in anything because the information will leak. I mean, you look at,
sure,
why they put off production of any merchandise for Baby Yoda, because they wanted to keep it a secret, because people can't keep their mouths shut.
Right.
So you think about the scale of the cloning process. And how many people must have known that this chip was in there that was being, bred in there?
Yep.
And no one said anything? It's madness.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might be the sort of thing where, Sifo Dyas had this thing and said...
I mean, the Kaminoans are definitely way better with adhering to non-disclosure agreements.
Sure. Yes. And it might be something like that. You know what I'm saying? It could be that way because they're there is enough of that leaks into Star Wars, that, it's in the contract, That's funny. But then, Sifo Dyas, after all this, he's crazy, after he set the cloning into motion.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of clones, I gotta say, I loved the little competition that Wrecker and Crosshair had going on.
Oh, I just loved Wrecker in this episode.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, and Crosshair's little move there with all those, reflectors.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was awesome.
And then Wrecker's reaction to it, like, oh.
He's gonna try and one up me again.
But that look of just shock on his face.
Oh yeah.
When that happened, he's just like, how do I compete with this?
Yeah, that was great. The end. Oh, this is the happiest day of my life. Gets to blow up the whole thing.
Yeah, wiping a tear away.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta love that.
And that again showed Anakin's compassion for the clones.
Yep.
His compassion for everyone, really.
Yeah, and okay, the clones, right? Such a general term, but he's thinking of one in particular when he grabs that thing. Wrecker's gonna love this, So again, showing, and it's obvious with the Bad Batch, but all the clones do have their own personalities. So it's every time they do that, it's cool to me. From the very beginning with Ambush all the way through, it's been awesome.
And like the Clone Wars keeps building on that one scene in Episode 3 in the beginning when they're flying the starships going to get to Grievous's ship.
Oh,
and Anakin's like, I'm going to go help them.
Right.
And Obi-Wan says, they're doing their job, so we can do ours.
Yeah.
And you can see that concern and turmoil in Anakin.
Yep.
He doesn't like leaving them behind, even though they're just clones.
Right.
To him, they're not. Every person's a person to Anakin. Like, there's so much good to Anakin.
Absolutely.
And the more they build on this makes his fall even more dramatic.
Dramatic, tragic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, tragic, really. Yeah. Because how could someone who cared for such little things come to care for nothing?
Yeah.
Because he just kills.
Yeah.
You screw up, you die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was no compassion to Darth Vader.
Nope.
But Anakin Skywalker was full of it. Like, he reached this breaking point that completely flipped his mentality. This all keeps adding to the tragedy. Like, his interaction with the clones on a name-by-name basis. Over and over again.
Yeah. This is, making excellent points here. This is, it's amazing.
And this is a clone that he only fought with for a short time.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's not like this operation that we're watching is taking years. It's not.
Oh, no. I mean, I imagine the whole thing would have to be over the course of days,
Yes. But it's days, not years.
Yeah.
It's not like he's spending a bunch of time and building this relationship, things like that. No, he just attaches to people.
Yeah.
Which the Bad Batch is just an interesting group. And very unique in their own right. Each one of them are unique.
Yes, it's accentuating that part of them. And
they are not like the regs.
Right. Yeah, definitely cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling like Rex. You know, like I'm sad to see this group go.
Oh yeah, me too.
I mean, we almost need another arc added onto the season just to do this again.
Now I wonder. I had this thought as they were, Echo joins them, and they're saluting Rex. I had this thought. I wonder if we'll see these guys on Mandalore.
Oh, I hope so.
Because I can see that happening.
Yeah, I really hope so. It was a fun group to watch.
For sure. And I think if they catch wind of whatever's going on Mandalore, they might think, hey, this is the kind of stuff we want to get involved in. So hopefully we'll see him again. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool. So anything else we really want to touch on in this episode?
Well, not really. I think it did a really good job at wrapping this arc up. I mean, it was, as you said, all 4 of these episodes were awesome. It took what I thought was going to be the least interesting arc and just blew me away. Because I thought we were going, I think next we're supposed to see some stuff with Ahsoka, which, kind of wanting to see what's going on with Ahsoka after she left the Order and prior to being Fulcrum. And,
That's funny because that's what I was going to go into. That's why I was saying like the episode. I was going to go into talking about next week and starting the Ahsoka arc.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, there we go.
So it looks like we're on the same page here.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think this was it blew my expectations of what an arc about these clones was going to be away. I mean,
especially for being the opening arc.
Yes. So,
I mean, we expected the season to be kind of swinging the whole way.
Yep.
Because it is the last.
Right.
But I did not expect them to come out swinging in this manner. These 4 episodes were just phenomenal.
Agreed.
Just not a single bad episode in the arc. Not even a single meh episode in the arc.
Exactly. Okay, you want something to you want a criticism? Here's a criticism of mine. This might have shown up before. No, this is super bad. It might have shown up before somewhere in Star Wars. I don't recall seeing it. But when Mace goes down to disarm that bomb, what other platforms in Star Wars do you have yellow hand railing all over the place on? This is not a thing in Star Wars. I mean, the guys even on the platform with the big giant laser going out the Death Star don't have a railing, which is made fun of in Family Guy. So, I mean, seriously, if there was a railing on the bridge, Han Solo could have caught it and not fell when he died. I'm just saying.
I mean,
yeah, he had a lightsaber wound, but
I was gonna say, yeah, he just got stabbed through the chest. But let's just ignore that. He would have had a railing.
But there's no railing on that bridge. I mean,
yeah, they don't like railings, do they?
Yeah. Not only were these like railings, they were like OSHA yellow. So I'm just saying that you don't see very often.
Hold on.
What?
The Separatists had a different way of doing things. Okay. The Separatists were a little mindful of safety. Droids are stupid.
Yeah, got it. Oh, that's funny.
I mean, if they wouldn't have had railings, they would have just lost droids. The droids would just walk off the platform.
Yeah, because they're concerned about that.
Yeah. Humans are a little smarter about big holes.
Yeah.
Like, humans like, big ass hole, I don't walk there.
Right.
Droids are like, what's this?
Yeah. I don't know. That kind of jumped out at me and I was like, a little odd. But I guess if that's my worst complaint, we really got nothing to complain about.
I was like, where's this going? This is bad. This is really bad. What's with the railings?
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't notice that.
Okay.
But now I'm like, yeah, what's with the railings? And why are they OSHA yellow?
Yes. It just cracks me up.
Yeah, I mean that's my best guess. Droids are dumb.
Yep. I like it. I'll buy that. Droids are dumb.
So yeah, next week looks like we're starting the Ahsoka, the underworld arc
Yeah.
is what I'm kind of dubbing it. Like this is going to be the first arc for Ahsoka that we're seeing in this series prior to Siege of Mandalore.
Yep.
This is the underworld of Coruscant. You know, she's kind of in hiding.
Yeah. Should be good. Get to see a little bit of Ahsoka on her own. And, she basically doesn't have the Jedi Order to fall back on.
Yeah. And it's crazy because Ahsoka has been the character in this series that we've seen the most like character building arcs.
Oh, yeah.
This one is going to be really on Ahsoka, much like the arc where she left the Order.
Yep.
And this will, what looks like to be a direct continuation of that. You know, like she leaves the Order. This is what happens.
Right. Yep.
So definitely a story we have been clamoring for.
Oh, totally.
Like, okay, she left. And then she shows up in Rebels. It's like, okay, well, what happened in between?
Yeah, absolutely.
So any Ahsoka stories at this point are a welcome story. I would assume we're not going to see the same kind of action we've seen for the last 4 weeks.
Probably not. This will probably be a little more dialogue heavy. I would assume. I'm sure there'll be
a little
some
deeper.
Action. Yeah, but I'm okay with that. Be all right.
But they definitely use these first 4 episodes to get us in. Like we're invested. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, they didn't have to try it as hard as they did.
I'm glad they did.
I'm glad they did because, like I said, they didn't have to try this hard to get us invested because we were screaming for this. I mean,
yes,
the shirts that came out, had the hashtag Clone Wars saved.
Yeah,
which was in response to hashtag Save the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So they knew they didn't have to try that hard to get us back in.
Yeah.
But they did anyway. They decided to give us a treat right off the bat. And yeah, definitely happy for that.
Yes. Good
definitely shows I mean, granted, this stuff was all in the works to begin with.
Yep.
But the way this has come out, the way it's been done, the way it's presented, is they're showing their appreciation for our appreciation of the Clone Wars.
Absolutely. This is a thing. You're absolutely right. They had part of this done, like the voice actors had done their recordings and stuff, but this is something they could have phoned it in, and we still would have loved it, but they didn't. They went all out, and it shows, and it's definitely good.
I mean, this even has the advancement in animation.
Yeah.
I mean, this is advanced from even the last stuff we saw.
Yep.
So, yeah, they spared no expense and definitely didn't shortchange us on this.
Absolutely.
And it makes the rest of this season that much more exciting, coming up.
Yep. Can't wait.
I just hope they're ready for us to complain about it leaving again.
Oh, if we complain loud enough, I'm sure we'll get an announcement for what's next.
Right.
Ooh.
Well, my thing is this, a lot of TV series and things like that, they leave because they're struggling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They don't leave when they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, true. But I think this one, when we're done with this season 7, I feel like it's gonna be pretty played out. I mean, we're from the trailer, we're obviously bumping right up against episode 3,
Right.
And if anything, I imagine what you could do is bookend this with another Clone Wars movie to show what things were like for all the clones and everything after Order 66, maybe.
Right.
I can see that happening. In fact, yeah, we should probably start calling for that now. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
all right. Well, so at the beginning of this episode, we talked about how things are crazy in the world right now.
yes, things are crazy.
And it's tough out there. It is.
Yep.
But the good news is there are things to do to pass the time, take our mind off things. And one of those things right now is The Rise of Skywalker is now available on digital. So it's come out early.
Yep.
But it is available now. So I can't think of a better way to pass the time than to watch Star Wars.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying just The Rise of Skywalker. Obviously, The Rise of Skywalker, it's exciting. It's new, right?
Yeah.
But any Star Wars.
Absolutely.
So never lose sight of the joys in life.
That's right. Yep.
So, yep, available now. It was supposed to come out on the 17th, but it came out on the 14th. So,
yep.
Always good when we get stuff early.
Yes. Early is better than late.
Yeah,
sure.
I like early. Everything else is going to be late.
Yeah.
So it's about time to do something early.
Right.
There's no script problems with,
No
something that's already out.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
But
that's funny.
Yeah, so if you have anything to add, want to share anything with us, tell us where we're wrong, tell us what we're doing good, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. It's the best way to get a hold of us. But you can also get a hold of us on social media. We're at The Wars and More on Twitter, facebook.com/thewarsandmore. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We will talk next week.